You're gonna hear lots of cars behind me because it's beautiful in Chicago. It is 63 degrees, and you know, folks gotta, you know, if it wasn't COVID, it would be like this, but you know, it's really like that now because people just like, I'm getting out the house. I am getting out the house. And did y'all hear about that stuff that happened in Miami? See, haven't we been talking about that? Haven't we been talking about how spring break and all these things, people was not gonna care, they was gonna do their thing, and you see the mayor that had to shut down the whole city. Anyway, it is spring. It's spring. You hear the motorcycles? Okay, so it's spring, and I know I am late. I'm kind of not late because I did do an updated spring collection, and I'll put that in the cards. But I am late because I swear to you, in the last few days, I have seen so many spring collections. I've seen this spring collection, that spring collection. Everybody got a spring collection coming out. So I had to jump on board. I had to jump on the board. Jump on board. So I'm doing my spring collection. Well, I'm going to be doing spring collection in parts. This is part 1. And these are unique, affordable, and designers scents that I have that are great, beautiful for springtime. Now these are spring, not summer. Some could, you know, you can wear them in summer, whenever you want to. But these are some great spring fragrances. There's a couple in here that you might have heard, you know, people have talked about. But just in general, a lot of them, I doubt if you've heard about it, anybody's really talking about them because they're not part of the mainstream. It's not part of the hype train. They haven't been on, they're not on the hype train. But, you know, I like them, and I think, and I just want to share them because I think you might like them too. So let's go on and talk about some. Let's talk about some. I don't know why I felt the need to do it like that, but I did. So let's talk about them. Oh, but I really am so bad with this. Hey, if you're new, go ahead, you know, go on and subscribe, right? Tell me some of your most interesting spring fragrances. I don't want to hear about the regular stuff, the, you know, Gucci Floras and everything. I don't. Don't get me wrong. I know people love Gucci Flora, but I want to hear about something that's really interesting that people aren't really talking about. So get back with me in the comments about that. Let's have a little conversation about unique fragrances that are affordable, though. This is the affordable version. All right, let's go and do this thing. Okay, so my regular schmegulars, they know that, you know, I'm all over the place. I try new things out and all that other good stuff. So here's where we go. Oh, I am looking. Let's just give a 1-2 to this makeup look. This makeup look is very soft. I was going for something soft, you know, because I'm feeling soft and ultra girly for now, for spring and summer and everything. All right, so here we go. The first one is, this is Madonna's Truth or Dare Naked. Now, the reason why I'm putting this in here, because I know some people, it's an amber fragrance, but no, it has beautiful peach blossom, it has honeysuckle, it's got neroli in the beginning, so it has this really light and airy and fresh floral, because it is a floral woody musk. Now, of course, it does dry down. It's a beautiful amber. It's got a little oud in it. It's got a little sandalwood, but it has a lot of florals in it. It has the lily of the valley in it. It's got vanilla orchid. So even though it is an amber and it's got a sweetness to it, it's still a floral. And it's beautiful at this time of year, spring, because especially with transitional things where it's a little bit cooler, not just super. And honestly, this would be beautiful in the summertime, like evening. This is a really nice summer evening scent where you're just hanging out, going to a party, you know, maybe a date, whatever you're doing in the summertime evenings. This would be really nice for that too. All right, so let's go to the next one. I got them in order. I got an order to them, so let me see what's my next one in the order. Okay, so give me a second for my order to show up. Give me a second. So this is Giselle by Carla Frasci. You can see the name right there. Pretty little bottle. This is a 30 ml. I'm thinking about getting another one because they were so inexpensive. But anyway, this has ylang ylang, tuberose, freesia, white honey, jasmine, coconut, vanilla, caramel, musk, and a little cinnamon. So there's a little spiciness, a little sweetness, but overall it's a beautiful floral. And what this is this is a very sophisticated, kind of elegant, sweet floral. So even though it is like a fruity floral almost, you know, it's got a little gourmand vibe to it. It's a, you know, it's a floral. It's got a little sweetness to it. So this is perfect for this time of year. I really like it. It's just like when you first put it on, it's like, oh, okay. But then the honey and the caramel and the florals combine. So this has a very quiet sophistication and elegance to it. So it's very it reads very, you know, evening elegance. That's what Giselle does. It's a very evening elegant fragrance. As you see, I've been wearing it quite a bit. You know, I just like to, it just gives me this kind of vibe of like sophistication and just, you know, kind of chill. Like, you know, you don't need to advertise how sophisticated and elegant you are, but your fragrance tells that to everybody. So that's why I love, so Giselle has that vibe to it, and it's just a really beautiful floral. And florals, it's springtime, you should have a floral on. You know, you should be rocking a floral. So this is Giselle by Carla Frasci. All right, next up, I know I've talked about these before, but I'm gonna remind y'all about these because they're so inexpensive. And this is, where's that? This is Banana Republic's Gardenia and Cardamom. Now we know I love dark cherry and amber. I love tobacco and tonka bean, but this is quietly a very good gardenia and cardamom scent. This has gardenia and mandarin orange. It's got a little tuberose in, a little cardamom, jasmine, ylang ylang, magnolia, so rose and carnation. So it's a serious floral, and then it's got driftwood and amber. So it's a serious floral with just a little bit of woodiness, just enough woodiness in it, so it's not just linear. It has a little, you know, it has a little depth to it. It doesn't stay the same. It starts out with a very kind of, you know, floral citrusy vibe from the mandarin orange, and then as it dries down, you get a little bit of woodiness and a little bit of spiciness from the cardamom, and that amber sweetens it up a little bit. So if you're looking for a floral but you don't want it to be kind of like basic, feeling like daisy or something, this has a little more sophistication to it. Now, does it last off really well? Absolutely not. You know, it lasts like 3 or 4 hours, but it's only $30. So, you know, you can spray again and spray again and spray again. So the next one is going to be another one from Banana Republic, and this is one of my favorites. Oh, last summer I was rocking this, but let's just talk about it for the summertime. And I'm saying this is because the majority of people who talk about this one are the men. But this is 90 Pure White. Man, this is a floral woody musk. And let me tell you, this has grapefruit, it has green tea in it. It's got jasmine, violet, and lavender, and a little bit of vetiver and amber and musk. So this is like this musky floral, and it's so good. It has lavender. I'm telling y'all, I'm starting to like certain things with lavender, but the lavender is just subtle enough so that it works well with the muskiness, with the musk, with all the other floral notes. And then the green tea gives it a little freshness, gives it a little like fresh vibrancy. So this is like really good for every day. This is a perfect one. Like when I go back into like for instance, when I go back into the classroom, I'm probably gonna take this and keep it in my desk, because this is something that I could wear and just be fresh all day, and smell really nice every day, but not too much, and you know, a lightness, and it'll uplift me while I'm sitting there for hours in the school. So this is like an uplifting with the lavender, with the grapefruit, with the, you know, the florals and a little musk. So it really does uplift me, and it's a really nice, ladies, y'all need to go and get this, because men know about it. We just don't know about it that much. We're not wearing like this one from Banana Republic, but I'm telling you, it's so good. It's so good. Now this one is a classic, and I just got it. So, you know, bear with me, my enthusiasm for this one. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. Insolence EDP by Guerlain. This is just the most beautiful, powdery violet scent I didn't know I needed. I've always shied away from powdery things. I've always shied at violet, and that's not my style. I don't really like it. And then I got this. I got another cup of violets and iris, but this was like, yep, you need this. It is just, it's got enough, it's got a little sweetness, but not too much. But the powder is just so, it's so classic. And the violet, it just reminds me in a very modern way of the things that my grandmother and my aunt used to carry. Like, it reminds me of those powder, the things with the powder puff that my aunt and my grandmother had. And you know, and with the violet, it's old school, but it's not, you know, and I love it. I did not know like I said, I didn't know I needed it this much in my life, but I do, and I love it, and I'm happy I have it. So that's Insolence EDP. I might get the EDT. Do I need the EDT, y'all? Because y'all know how I am. Do I need that EDT? Speaking of EDTs, this is L'Interdit EDT. Now, everybody talks about the EDP. Everybody talks about Intense. I love Intense. But this is the EDT. Now, the reason why I say this is for this time of year, it is a tuberose, but this is a lighter floral version of L'Interdit. So it has poppy, tuberose, orange blossom, and musk, with a little patchouli and vetiver. I'm looking at my notes over here. That's why you see me turning my head. Just want you to know. So this version is more floral, more musky than the other ones. So it does have a little sweetness, but it's primary from the orange blossom. But what it's primarily is a floral tuberose with musk in it, and a little, you know, patchouli with a little woodiness. So yeah, this is, if you have not tried L'Interdit EDT, it's a great one for the spring. Just great for the spring. Just great for the spring. All right, so now this one, I did a whole video on this one, so I'm not gonna really go deep into this one, but where's she at? This is Ressassy's Genoux Satin Parfum. Now this one is a floral fruity. This is a floral fruity. Well, it's like an amber floral, so it's got a little amber. It's got ambroxan in it. It's floral. This is you know, it's got that Ressassy vibe. It's last, it's strong, but this is more amber, so it's got an amber and floral to it. And when I've worn it, it just has me feeling just, you know, opulent. To a certain extent, there's a certain opulence to this in a very affordable package, and the amber reads very rich. The florals are very well blended, so you can't even say, oh, it's this type. It's just a floral bouquet with a rich amber in it. So it has a certain opulence to it, that and velvetiness to it, that is just perfect for evening events, for, you know, anything you're doing in the evening, because this, even though I will wear it during the day, but it just really, I can see it ringing at a special event, or just hanging out in the evening. This is definitely a more nighttime heavy spring fragrance. All right, next up is this. And I know y'all I just y'all know I have a thing for my girl. I have a thing for her, low key. Elizabeth Arden. This is Red Door Shimmer. Red Door Shimmer. This is a floral fruity. It's got pink pepper, pear, and blackberry on the top. Then it has gardenia, peony, and Casablanca lily. And Casablanca lily is one of my favorite lilies of all time. I mean, I love that big, beautiful white lily. It is so fragrant. So I love that. And then it has sandalwood, red amber, tonka bean, musk, and vetiver. So it has a, so it's fruity, but what it has a certain sweetness. So this is something that definitely you want to wear this time of year, not necessarily into the summertime because it'll be too hot. This will not wear well then, but in the springtime when you still got a little crispness in the air, the sweetness, the amber, the tonka bean really work well with all the florals, and then you know with the pear and the blackberry on the top. So on the top it has a juiciness to it from the pear, got that sweetness from the blackberry, little tartness, so it's like a juicy tart. And then it's got all these beautiful florals and sweetness from the amber and the tonka bean. So this is really not talked about, and it has good longevity. It lasts on the skin. I have worn it, like when I first got it, I was wearing it to bed. You know how you try out things and go to sleep in it, and I was waking up with this beautiful scent on, just feeling like ultra girly. And then I had to take my shower, of course, but just waking up with that beautiful feminine, flirtatious scent on me just made me feel just extra than a mug. So that is Red Door Shimmer by Elizabeth Arden. So then next up is, let's go with these. We're gonna go into the 1902s by Bordeaux. Now Bordeaux is well known for, people have talked about some of their oud, aswad, I think, things like that. No one talks about these right here. So let me find the first one. This is Pavillon and Rhubarb right here. Now the 1902 series celebrates the beginning of the company. The company started in 1902. So this has rhubarb and grapefruit on the top with peony and magnolia and a little bit of amber. This is a very, you know, rhubarb, it's got that tartness to it. It's got that sourness to it, but it's sour, peony, and so it's a sour floral. So somebody gonna ask me this, kind of like Delina, but not really. So the rhubarb gives it that, you know, sourness like Delina does, but the peony and the magnolia, they're just so bright. This is just like a really, now this is an EDT, so it doesn't last that great. Man, the price on this was nothing. But it has this really, it's like a quintessential spring fragrance because it's very light on the skin, it's very airy, it's floral. It just feels like you should be out there running in the park as you're with a white dress on. You know how like you see them slow motion running in the park, about to go have picnic in the park. That's what Pavillon and rhubarb is. Honestly, this has been like one of those things, if you can see, I've used quite a bit of it. Not that much, but a little bit. I wear this at night. This is a really beautiful nighttime scent. This is a really good, just, you know, every day going out. This is another one that I would keep at work if I was going to have a bunch of work. This is definitely a beautiful work time scent because, once again, it's just like this gorgeous, romantic kind of, it's kind of got a dreaminess to it, fragrance that has that sourness that makes it a little different, that gives it a little more interesting note than if it didn't have it. So it's like a spicy sourness. Now the next one by 1902, and I forgot all about this one. Now this is a eau de cologne, so it's like, you know, a Jo Malone, but it don't cost like a Jo. This is Figue Blanche, and this has fig, bergamot, and ylang ylang with the little peach and jasmine, and then cedar, vanilla, and white musk. Now this is very cedar, it's very woody, very musky, but you do get the fig in it. The fig is very subtle. Even though you do get the fig in it, you can smell the fig, but it's more of a green fig. It's not like a overly ripe, sweet fig. It's a green fig. And then it's got the bergamot and the florals, the ylang ylang, the peach, the jasmine. It's really underrated. No one talks about Figue Blanche, but it is just if you like fig fragrances and you like the green ones, this is a really good one to have just for a throw on. You know, this is like a very inexpensive. If you can still find it, it's under $30, and you're getting what, about 100 mils. Let me see what it is. Yeah, this is 125 mils. This is 125 mils. It's a nice amount, and you could just spray it whenever you want to. Unlike, you know, like Jo Malone, which is super overpriced. We know this for the quality of it. Not to say that Jo Malone doesn't have good fragrances. Let me just preface it with that. Jo Malone has some good fragrances, but they just don't last. I just don't find them worth my money if they're not gonna last. So this is a great alternative because it has that kind of Jo Malone vibe, but at a price point that makes sense. So yeah, this is like Figue Blanche. It's a white fig, musky, woody, green, and with a little florals, but still really pretty on the skin. So that's Figue Blanche. Then next up, now this is one of the Collection Extraordinaire, and I've been hearing about this one. People been talking about this one a little bit, so let me tell you about it. This is California Reverie. Now this is neroli and mandarin orange with jasmine, sambac, and frangipani with some beeswax and vanilla. So this is very citrusy. You know, it's got a citrus vibe to it. It's definitely got, you know, the neroli gives it a little bitterness, but the vanilla then helps give it a little sweetness, and that beeswax gives it a little interesting and uniqueness to it. So it's a floral, you know, a floral fragrance with the addition of a little vanilla for sweetness and the citruses to give it a bite. So this is a light, refreshing, very, you know, green and very natural fragrance. It gives you this feeling of being out, hanging out at the beach, you know, being very outdoorsy kind of vibe, you know, just out window shopping, just, you know, just having a really good time in a very light-hearted way. This is a very light-hearted scent. It don't last that long, you know. Even though the Collection Extraordinaire is very nice, most of them have an issue with longevity. Thing lasts maybe 4 hours on you, and then it is a straight skin scent, but it's so lighthearted, it's so refreshing, it's so natural. It just feels like, you know, you should be like bouncing around and having a good time, you know, maybe dancing at a street fair or something. That's what it vibes me, because we have a lot of street fairs here in Chicago. This feels very street fair like you're gonna be out there kicking and everything, and you want to have a good fragrance on, but you don't want it to be too much, and you want it to, you know, so if anybody gets a whiff of it, they're like, oh, you smell good, but you know, it's like, hey, okay. So that's California Reverie. Very, you know, light and fun. All right, that's it for my unique, affordable, and designer spring collection. I tried to come with some good stuff, tried to come with some stuff that might not be being talked about, because what's the point of watching a lot of, you know, videos and they're kind of talking about the same thing? So I wanted to make sure that I gave you all some uniqueness. Now these are newer to my collection, but I wanted to talk about the ones that were really unique, that stand out, like from the standpoint of, you're gonna wear these, you're not gonna smell like everybody else, no one's gonna know what you're wearing, you can say it, they're gonna be like, what? So that was part of the criteria for these. Now, as always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. That's cool too. And you know, the whole subscribe thing, go ahead, subscribe if you want to. If you don't, that's fine too. And for my regular schmegulars, it's good seeing you as always. Talk to you later. It's LuuLuu. Be bold, be brave, be fearless, be free. I'm out of here.